Okay, we're now recording. Good evening, Lorelei.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, David.
Right. So, welcome back to the spiritual journey. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yes. Right. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. As we start the second year, I hope you've had a good break.
I had another accident for my back, but I was on a mountain, so yes, it was a good break.
Okay, so you got a good break. You're getting back to work pretty soon.
Yes, I already came back to work this week, so I worked this week.
Oh dear. Okay. Perhaps you can recall or tell me one of the interesting moments you had during the holiday.
A lot of interesting moments. First of all, the air, it's very different when you are on top of the mountain. There are a lot of beyond positive and negative. Also a lot of animals. I saw all the like wild bears and all kinds of animals, squirrels, snakes, venomous snakes, scorpions as well, and scorpions as well. Sorry. What other animals? All the possible animals that you could imagine in freedom. So it was good. A lot of fish as well because there was a river. Yeah, very beautiful. I cannot wait to come back. A lot of rivers with thermal water because it's a volcano. So the water that flows from that volcano, the water, because there are several rivers, at least I think 44 rivers in total. So each river has different elements, chemical elements, and the water is sometimes very hot and sometimes acceptable, but most of the time it's warm. The water that comes from the volcano. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you know, part of the spiritual journey is getting back to your real self and rediscovering and developing your natural abilities in the areas of empathy, clairvoyance, mediumship, sensitive, and psyche. Along the spiritual journey, such abilities should naturally switch on, and you should get a sense of your own real self. Let me give you a personal example of something that happened some weeks ago. Yes, I spent a lot of time watching the sun and moon movements, and I came to the realization that the whole story of Arthur and the round table of 12 nights was based on the sun and the moon movements under the 12 zodiac signs that we see at night. Yeah, the sun, of course, is Arthur, the shining knight, and the moon, Merlin. And every day there's another adventure where, through trials and tribulations, good wins over bad. So that was really a very clairvoyant moment for me because everything was clear about it. I thought about it and it reminded me of a biblical verse. Can you imagine which one?
I don't know if you're talking about the same biblical verse that you were referring in the class you had with Keith, but if it's the same, you know, I guess, is it the same or is it another one about the earth that it's not round or round or
no. It's another one, and it's from John, King James. And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness can comprehend it not. Yeah. For me, that shows that using your clairvoyant abilities helps along your spiritual journey. Okay. So now back to today's meeting, I'd like to take a brief look at different types of intelligence. Could you name a few different types of intelligence, Lorelei?
A different kind of intelligence. Well, usually the intelligence is measured by the adaptability when you do something in every moment of your life. So the adaptation, of course. Yeah, but you're talking about the spiritual intelligence, or what are you referring to? Or maybe the energy from the space, from the stars, or the moon, or
Okay, well, there is a paper by Mark Vital that lists the types of intelligence, and I'll put the paper up in the Thinkific group. Yes. And well, let's see if we can expand on it. Number one, it's spatial intelligence, visualizing the world in 3D, like from mountain climbing. Yeah, that's a sort of intelligence. And then number two, you have a naturalist intelligence, understanding living things and reading nature.
Right. Well, I could guess there could be another intelligence from warriors when we read their bibliography, and from survivors from World War II and so on. So, you know, all kinds of intelligence that you receive from the writings and memories of other people.
Yeah. Okay. So number three, musical intelligence, discerning sounds, their pitch, tone, rhythm, and timbre. Yes. Number four, logical intelligence, quantifying things, making hypotheses, mathematical, and proving them. Yes. Now, number five, well, I'll come back to that one. Now, number six is interpersonal, sensing people's feelings and motives. Yes. We could call that empathic, if you like. Now, number seven is bodily kinesthetic. Yes. Coordinating your mind with your body. And then number eight, a linguistic intelligence, finding the right words to express what you mean at the right time. Yes.
Yeah.
And number nine, intrapersonal, understanding yourself, what you feel, and what you want. Coming back to number five, is existential, like meditation. Yes, tackling the questions of why we live and why we die. This is what concerns us on the spiritual journey. But at the same time, all the other forms of intelligence can help too. Yes, I mean,
yes.
number one, mountain climbing. You should know a bit about that. You just come back from the mountain. Yes.
Yeah, but I forgot to mention I also had some panic attacks, especially when I was in the I told you about a boat. Yeah, I had so many panic attacks like I'd never had in my entire life when I was in that boat, because the water was very deep. So you know, I was just afraid. And I also had another panic attack when I was getting down from a mountain at some point. And there was just nothing underneath, so you were literally holding yourself from some branches, like the road was very slippery with leaves and so on. So like I said, it's yeah, it's very, I mean, you shouldn't be afraid of
yeah, well,
going back from
it's getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah. So I was had some panic attacks. Yeah.
So if we take a deeper look at number five, we can add such subjects as spiritual, yes, religions, esoteric learning, yeah, learning it, occult learning, feeling the power of it, yes, and we can add different levels, yes, moon level, planetary level, sun level, celestial level.
Right.
Yeah, existential is a mix of all the above, especially number 2, 5, 6, and 9.
Yes.
Okay, so Lorelei and everyone, which are your strong points and which are your weak points?
My strong points are definitely the astral level. When you look at the stars, but you do have to enter in a state, not necessarily like a meditation, like when you do yoga or whatever. It's more like an introspection. And then there's a moment when your soul actually kind of communicates with the astral level. I don't know if you experienced that or the viewers experience that, but you can definitely tell that they're like your soul is basically spreading around and reaching the stars at some point. Now I didn't take any mushrooms, everyone. Like I never tried drugs or anything. Like this is a very powerful feeling that you have, and it's like that moment when you wish you could make a wish, but not necessarily because you see a star falling, but because you do have projects and you meditate and you want to improve yourself so much that you are going to achieve those projects. It's that moment when you feel that you can achieve everything just by watching the stars.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a sort of what do you call it?
Yeah, it's not an empowerment. It's because you unite with the universe at that exact same moment, and you know, it gives you some sort of power and of energy that you cannot receive it elsewhere. And especially where I was in the mountain, there are more stars that you can see above, because when you go to the countryside or wild areas, there are more stars than in the city area, you know. And this feeling is even stronger because you obviously see more stars. And
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point because
the lights from the city actually and the clouds are hiding, I think, in the city, all the stars and all the planets. You cannot see that much, but when you go in a country zone, like isolated zone, you can actually see all the Milky Way. Like you can see all the stars aligning, and you don't even need a telescope for that. Everything is just so shining bright, and it's perfect pure nature.
Yeah. Well, the stars, when you look at the stars, they're so full of promise. Yes. So you've come back to the spiritual journey full of promise, because you must have been looking a lot at those stars.
Yeah. Now what I experienced also when I was gone for a month was that I could feel even from the distance when a person was thinking about me. And I know for sure, and it actually was an experiment that was done. I was reading it, I think this week. So people from UK were thinking about some words about some people in India, and in India they were thinking about some words, some people in the UK, and they managed to identify those words via electromagnetic diagram. So they actually managed to read the words that the others were thinking overseas. So it was scientifically proven what I say now. While I was gone during a month, I could feel when someone was thinking about me, and if it was a positive thinking or a negative thinking. And right after, I could see that the person is calling me, like in that exact same second. And the person would confirm my thoughts just before I received the phone call. And this happens all the time. Even with people that I didn't see for like 20 years, I was so surprised that like they reached me that I had a second before. So now when someone comes over and talks to me, I know what they want to say or what they would like to say. So I already gave them the answer before they even talk. Is it the same for you? I don't know. Do you have the same connection with people
when I started
overseas?
When I was started this journey in the 1980s, yes, ladies were telling me, you know, people, people that work in a library, somebody would come up to them and they just give them the book that they want. So, they'd actually know
It's
what they
funny.
want. It's incredible.
Wow.
Yes. That's your faculty working a lot better.
Yeah, but I think you can actually influence other people's minds as well, because when you think about someone, that person feels and thinks what, like, so we can actually influence that as well. That's why we need to spread positive thinking and nothing negative.
Yeah. They should get a positive sense from you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is a high level, everyone. I think they can all agree.
Well, we're not in the first year now.
Yeah, but obviously the classes we made in the spiritual comprehension academy journey was definitely helping us to improve ourselves and manage to reach this level. Also, in terms of confidence, I had to give up, especially this week, but also in the last week before I come here. I had to give a lot of conference and online, not via Zoom, but the other one, Teams, because everyone prefers Teams. I don't know why. Well, anyway, enough with the chatting, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm able to express myself a lot easier at work, because I'm usually a very shy person, but right now I realize that there's nothing wrong that I can say. It's just the product of my work that I'm expressing, and I just, like, I can explain all the steps. I don't have to give just the result like I usually do, and people actually understand much better my work right now, and it actually improved my work a lot. So yeah, thank you for that, David, and everyone. If you want to improve your skills at work and also on a personal level, don't forget to subscribe to this channel on Universal Comprehension Academy.
Okay. Well, okay, a little change of subject now. Next,
Yes.
we'll look at a planetary view of the centers. Yes, the bodily centers. Can you remember what they are?
Planetary view centers? Not really.
Okay.
I remember it's a master with Mars. Mars, that's what you showed us in the 4th or 6th class. Red planet. That's all I remember about planets that you showed us.
Okay, here's a list of the centers and how they connect to bodily functions and planetary mind functions.
Yeah.
So they remember, each has its own energy. They're situated throughout the body. Yes. Here's the list of colors originally taken from the Chinese acupuncture chart. Now, green energy for the sexual center, which is around the sexual region. It comes in through the lungs, gives us cognition and the condition of being alive, to do with the psychic, to do with the psyche, and promotes a willingness. That's green energy when we breathe it in. Yes. Now, yellow energy at the same time, because we breathe in all the energies at the same time. Yellow energy is for the emotional center, and that's around the chest area, and it comes from the heart. It deals with understanding, and it gives the condition of being active, and it's to do with the ability of mediumship, and it promotes constancy. Yes. Things to do with the heart promote constancy because the heart is so constant. Now, blue energy is for the instinctive center. It comes from the intestines area and deals with insight. It gives us the condition of being alert, to do with the ability of empathy and acceptance or rejection. Yes. Now, red energy comes from the moving center in the stomach. It deals with perception. It gives the condition of being aware, to do with the ability of clairvoyance and repetition. Yes, white energy stored in the thinking sector. It's also stored in the liver. Yes, and it leads to realization and gives the condition of being awake, to do with the ability of a sensitive and balance. So, would you like a simple balancing exercise that you can do every day?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here it is. Now, let's see. I ought to stand up, but you can do this sitting down as well. You stretch out your arms so you have a cross section like this. Yes.
Yes.
And you gently rock 5 times forward. Yes. And it only has to be a very slight movement, not a big movement.
Okay. So it's not like a Muslim prayer.
No, it's not like a Muslim prayer. I mean, it might just be a couple of inches that you move.
Okay, I feel very balanced, especially on my back, and my back hurts so much that I don't even pay attention to the pain anymore in my foot as well, left foot. So it's very relaxing. I think from all the back area, and then it spreads actually also on your chest area and your abdomen.
Okay, well let me finish the exercise. Yes, you rock 5 times forward. Yeah, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. And then 5 times backwards. Yes, forward and back, forward. Yeah, 5 times. And then 5 times to the left with your arms spread out. 5 times to the left. Yes. Over to the left and back to the center. Back. And then 5 times to the right. And it doesn't have to be a very exaggerated move.
Okay, so it's also very balanced now on the right side and on the left side as well. And it actually resonates, especially on the chest area and abdomen as well, but from this side. Okay. So now you feel balanced, like from this neck area until down, like until where you sit, in your body. Okay.
So it's best to do that exercise standing up, but you can be sitting down.
I will.
Yeah.
5 times.
And yeah. I mean, I used to do that every day. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
now I do it once a week or once every 2 weeks. But I've been doing that exercise for since I was 20, 21, 22. Yes.
It's good to do that when you feed your chicken in your hand and you give them food and water and your cats. I have 6 cats. I don't know if you know. And I have dogs and stuff.
So, okay, so that's that exercise. Now, last year we talked of crystallizing things in your solar plexus. Yes, area. If you look at the pentagon shape on the crest of Superman, you can now put words to the meaning of each side of the pentagon shape. Yes, the top line would be for white, for realization. Then working clockwise round, the next would be yellow for understanding. The next would be red for perception. The next line, blue for insight. And the last line to make the pentagon would be green for cognition. And so the crystallization will continue for those on the spiritual journey or some form of it, yes, if they're doing their spiritual journey on their own. Now, you need to know also that experience is the first step of the crystallization in self. So becoming aware of these processes in yourself takes on an existential importance. The human being, the human being is the only life form on this planet that can create a 5-sided crystal naturally in the inner life. A saying to go with this is slowly catch the monkey. You might have heard that one before. In the knowledge that it will happen naturally. Yes? Coming back to why we studied the sun, moon, and stars over the break, because I decided to study the flat earth as the ancients used to view the world. Then I had plenty of clairvoyant moments. Well, I had a really full moment with Arthur and Merlin being one of them. So welcome to the month of Virgo, which started on the 23rd. Yes. And
happy birthday to my mom. She's a Virgo, and happy birthday to all the Virgos. I forgot to say it. I'm sorry.
oh well, she must be a perfect mum then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it started on the 21st of August. Now, Jesus was deemed to be a Virgo. Can you guess?
No, a Pisces. I knew he was a Pisces. How do you know he was a Virgo?
Because he was born of a virgin.
Yeah, it's true.
And that is true for all Virgos.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So perhaps for homework, you can tell me, where does a gut feeling come from and what quality it has? So that's all for this week. I hope to see you.
I have a question, actually, please. Just one question before we hang up. How do we know we have a clairvoyance moment? Like, what do we feel? How do we know that we have a clairvoyance moment?
You will feel inspired. You will feel inspired when you have a clairvoyant moment. You will know it is clairvoyance because of the inspiration you have. Anyway, that's the way I see it.
Okay.
Yes. And
thank
you
you.
go from one inspiration to the next. Yeah?
Okay, thank you very much.
With that. Yeah, that's all for this week. But don't go away. Yes, I'll close it down. Yes.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Happy birthday, Virgos. And see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Okay. So let's stop recording. How do we do that?
I don't know.